And eventually you get to a place where you're not harvesting. See, you reap what you sow, and if you keep sowing, you don't realize what your life and your soul can do. You wonder why God's not looking after you and why you're not getting healed and why things aren't changing, why everything goes wrong, because you're still sowing that seed of destruction. But once you start sowing seeds of righteousness, eventually the harvest of righteousness overtakes the harvest of destruction. And, the devil comes to rob, steal, and destroy, but Jesus came that you might have life. So my wife's going to come up and minister a song to you right now, and we're going to step into whatever it is that God has for us. And we've shared a little bit of our testimony and just how Karen's life has been transformed by God. I tried to do it, and she punched me. I tried to counsel her and said, I wish you'd just shut up. I'm not your parishioner, I'm your wife, and
I need to hear it from God.
It was so ungracious. And so, like, everybody loved me, and I was Pastor Doug, and, the only person in the world that didn't seem to respect me was the girl that I had a life sentence with.
Ooh! Dem's fighting words.
I'll leave you with her. And she is the love of my life. If anyone knows anything about our ministry, what we've done around the world, God's the first person that made that possible. Yeah. But if there's a second person that made it possible, that was willing to live out of suitcases, willing to leave her mum and dad, willing to leave everything and homes. This is our 28th permanent move in 36 years of marriage.
Real stable.
We make gypsies look stable. But Karen has just been the treasure of my life, and so let her minister to you.
Yeah, well, I mean, when God calls you to do something, he calls you both to do it, doesn't he? And I don't know, I just have always looked at it like a big adventure. And it's like you only get one life to live, and you can sit at home and stay in the same place all the time and just Sarah sort of thing, or you can just have a big adventure and go with God where he wants you to go. And I suppose with our life and our journey that it's been a little bit that way. And just in my life personally, this song that I'm going to sing, it means a lot to me because it speaks to me. Like, you have a choice in your life to live in the freedom that God died for you, or you can live in bondage. And unfortunately so many choose to live in bondage, whether they just don't know they can be free or whatever. But, for the things in my life, I was hurt a lot as a young girl. And, when I got saved and realised that I could live in freedom, and I could choose to let all the past hurts be in my life every day, or I could choose to release them to God and not let those people that offended me offend me every day. I was raped when I was 14. I could live in that hurt my whole life and not live in the freedom of that, but instead I gave it to God, and now that's not in my head every day. And there's just so much freedom in him. And our walking out our life is the salvation of our soul. It talks about that. Is it Timothy? I can't remember the scripture. It's in there. Just look it up. It's in there. Timothy, I think it is. But the salvation of your soul. And, is it well with your soul today? Really ask yourself, is it well? Am I still living in things that affect me, or am I going to give it to God once and for all? Okay, let's try this. Okay, we'll have to bring it up a little bit.
Just a little bit more.
A bit more, yeah. Grander earth has quaked before. Bit more. Moved by the sound of his voice. Yep. and seas that are shaken and stirred will be calmed and broken for my regard. And through it all, my eyes are on you. And through it all, it is well, Lord. And through it all, my eyes are on you. And it is well with me.